The hotel where the wedding was to be held suddenly caught fire, and my fiancé didn't hesitate to carry my fainted cousin out. Mom and Dad, along with my brother, hurriedly carried away the wedding gift that my cousin had made, fearing that she would be upset. And I, with a sprained ankle and unable to move, was forgotten by everyone in the sea of fire, my body severely burned. Looking at the layers of gauze wrapped around me, they showed expressions of disgust. How are you so unlucky that the wedding could catch fire? It scared Lydia so much that she fainted. Anyway, you can't face anyone looking like this, and Lydia is about the same size as you, so why not let her stand in for you and hold the wedding first? I nodded calmly in agreement and turned to finalize the arrangements for the overseas assignment with my supervisor. A month later, the day I boarded the plane was also the day my cousin and my fiancé held their wedding. I don't want my blind fiancé or my biased family anymore. Why is it that after I left, they all regretted it? The story begins. 15 days before Lydia and Aaron's wedding, I received a call from my brother. He opened his mouth to question. Did you make your friend comment those nonsense things under Lydia's Facebook? Do you know that Lydia cried because of those words? You should hurry and apologize to Lydia. He didn't know that I, on the other end of the phone, couldn't even hold my phone steady. Because the wound had become somewhat infected, dozens of blisters all over my body had been popped. Even after taking a lot of painkillers, I still hurt to the point of being unable to bear it. I really want to tell my brother that I have no idea what happened. It hurts so much, as if there are thousands of ants gnawing at my body. But the call has already been hung up. Just now, the wound really hurt too much, making me almost forget that the brother I have now is no longer the one who used to hold me and say he would protect me for a lifetime. He called, not a word of concern for me. He just wanted to vent for Lydia, who he holds dear. I sighed, suppressing the pain as I opened Lydia's Facebook. The latest one is a photo taken by the photographer of her and Aaron from behind. She is wearing a gorgeous wedding dress, while Aaron is in a suit, and the two are holding hands, looking like a perfect couple. The caption reads, "Took a wedding dress photo for my sister, do you all think it looks good?" In the front row below, there are comments from my parents and brother. So beautiful, a perfect match of talent and beauty. Of course, our Lydia is the most beautiful little princess. It's so great that there are no eyesores, you and Yanan are truly the best match. I looked at these comments, feeling no waves in my heart. I had long since gotten used to it. After all, in the eyes of my family, I, the legitimate girlfriend who has been with Aaron for 7 years, am just an interloper between him and Lydia, the sinner who prevents them from being together. I scrolled down a bit and saw a few friends' messages. They were standing up for me. You and your brother-in-law look really good together, why not just get the marriage certificate? I opened Facebook and saw some bad stuff, I'm really fed up. Strangely, seeing these messages, I actually feel like crying. My heart, which has been numb for a long time, seems to have been struck by something, stirring up a fine, aching pain. I lifted my head and stared at the ceiling for a while, before managing to hold back my tears. One by one, I opened the chat windows of my friends and thanked them before I clicked on the family group that I had pinned. They were enthusiastically discussing the arrangements for the wedding. I chuckled at myself. The wedding that was destroyed by the fire was something I had arranged all by myself from start to finish. Once everything was arranged, Lydia simply mentioned that she found it bland and wanted something more dreamy, which was when Aaron first contacted the wedding planner. Next to my meticulously designed crystal ornaments, there were many pink feathers that looked completely mismatched. The severity of the fire was greatly due to those pink feathers. But my family and my fiancé completely forgot that it was Lydia's suggestion and shifted all the blame onto me. In this group, the 5 of them use the same series of cartoon avatars. Lydia is the little princess adored by all, with her parents and brother as the king, queen, and prince. My fiancé Aaron uses a knight avatar that is clearly a couple's avatar with the little princess. But he clearly told me before that he added too many leaders on WhatsApp and couldn't use 2 childish profile pictures. Perhaps after meeting Lydia, his principles changed. I stared at the similar profile pictures of those 5 people for a long time before finally sending a message. The wedding photos are quite nice, I don't know about the comments, sorry. My appearance instantly silenced the group that had just been passionately discussing the wedding arrangements. A few minutes later, Lydia appeared and pretended to say, "It's okay, cousin, I don't blame you." The group chat that had just fallen silent suddenly became lively. "Dad, Lydia is still the sensible one." "Serena, you should learn from Lydia." "Mom, that's right, as a cousin, you can't compare to Lydia at all. You should reflect on yourself." My brother followed up with a sneer, "Just apologize properly, why pretend to be unaware?" I think some people are just rotten to the core. In the face of their belittlement, I did not cry and explain as I had before, nor did I make a scene. Because over the years, this kind of situation has happened far too many times. I know that no matter what I say, they will not believe me. So why waste my breath? I calmly muted the group chat, unpinned it, and didn't say another word. Fortunately, after enduring the pain of these days, the wounds on my body have also started to heal slowly. My days in the hospital can be considered quite leisurely. Compared to the constant flow of visitors in other wards, my room is truly desolate. Only occasionally do a few friends take time off to come see me. But adults have their own difficulties, and they can't always be by my side. Even the nurse couldn't help but ask me if there was no one at home to take care of me anymore. I just smiled and thanked her for her kind concern for me. However, I never expected that 10 days before the divorce ceremony, I suddenly saw my parents and brother, who had never appeared before, at the hospital. They looked anxious, their faces filled with worry. It's impossible to say that my heart isn't touched at all, but it's only for a moment. I know very well that they are not here to see me. Sure enough, the elevator doors opened, and Lydia, sitting in a wheelchair, was pushed out by a man. When she saw her parents and brother, a happy smile appeared on her face, and, "Uncle, cousin, why are you all here?" "I just twisted my ankle." "You child, twisting your ankle is no small matter, it must hurt a lot, right?" Mother's eyes were filled with compassion. I hid in the corner, quietly watching, lowering my head to glance at my foot, which had almost healed. During the wedding rehearsal, I was pushed by Lydia and fell to the ground, also twisting my ankle. But at that time, Mom just held Lydia in her arms. She said, "It's just a sprained ankle, how much could it hurt?" Lydia didn't do it on purpose. She told me not to fuss over such trivial matters with my sister, but now she says that twisting an ankle is not a small thing. I took a deep breath, feeling like a stranded fish. My home is clearly not far from me, yet I can't go back. I can never go back. 3 days later, I handled the discharge procedures by myself. When I walked out of the hospital, no one came to pick me up. Everyone is helping with the rehearsal at the wedding venue. My dear cousin Lydia, afraid that I wouldn't know, recorded all those sweet and warm moments and sent them to me. Perhaps it was because I had seen so much that my heart, which would originally feel pain, gradually became numb. I took a taxi back home, preparing to pack my luggage for going abroad. When I entered the password that hadn't been changed for many years, I received the prompt incorrect password. The original password was the birthdays of my brother and me. When it was set, my parents said that this way they would never forget the birthdays of their 2 treasures for a lifetime. But later, even with this password, they forgot my birthday countless times. Now they have changed the password, and no one has told me. I tried many times, before finally giving up and calling my parents. After refusing twice, they finally agreed to answer the phone. It's very lively over there, as if they are having a meal. I heard my brother teasing Aaron that his eyes are about to grow onto Lydia. The next moment, Mom's voice rang out. "Don't you know we're eating? Is there something that can't wait until later?" Listening closely, I could hear that her tone was not only impatient but also carried a hint of guilt. Maybe it's because of Aaron, I thought to myself, but I didn't say it out loud. The password at home has changed, I can't get in. Mom was taken aback for a moment, as if a bit surprised. you're back home from the hospital?" Realizing she had asked a very silly question, she fell silent for a moment but didn't tell me the password. "You should go stay at the house in the south of the city first." Her avoidance made me keenly aware that something was wrong. "Did you go into my room?" With a question full of speculation, my mother suddenly became furious. "Why are you so heavy-hearted? What is there in that little room of yours that is worth our concern?" "Enough, I won't talk to you anymore, we still have to eat." The phone call was hung up. I stood at the door, staring at the keypad lock for a long, long time. After entering, the door opened after my brother and Lydia's birthday. I can't quite describe how I feel. Am I sad? It doesn't seem so. Am I angry? Not really. It just feels like a sense of as expected. Walking into this home where I have lived for over 20 years, I realized that so many things have changed. At my last wedding, my parents and brother found it troublesome, so they let me leave from the hotel, and not even a single character of joy was posted. This time, the house was decorated with lanterns and colorful banners, even the bathroom had red double happiness characters pasted on it. The family photo placed next to the TV cabinet has also turned into another group photo of 4 people that I have never seen before. My heart trembled as I walked straight into the small room that belonged to my corner. Pushing the door open, my bed was gone, the table and cabinet were also gone, and it was filled with various wedding-related clutter. No wonder Mom wouldn't tell me the password. It turns out that in this house, there is nothing of mine anymore, and there is no place for me to belong. I find it strange myself that at this moment, I can actually smile. It's just that my face feels inexplicably a bit itchy. Stepping out of the house, a gust of wind blew, and I felt my hands sticky, only to realize that I had been crying. It was probably just bad luck. When I got downstairs, I happened to run into the 5 people who had just finished their meal. Mom and Dad and my brother walked behind, while Aaron and Lydia held hands, like the most ordinary couple, walking in front. They bumped into me, and the 2 of them awkwardly let go of each other's hands. "Cousin, it's not what you think." Lydia put on an innocent look, but the pride in her eyes was almost overflowing. Aaron, standing beside her, also shielded her behind him, as if afraid I would do something. "What Lydia said is true, Serena, we are just following what the photographer said about developing feelings." I looked at my lover, with whom I had been in a relationship for 7 years, and tugged at the corner of my mouth. I didn't misunderstand." My parents and brother rushed over, immediately scolding me. "Serena, can you be a little more sensible? Look at yourself now. If it weren't to help you, Lydia wouldn't be with Yen and—" "I know." My voice interrupted their chatter. "I know it's all for my own good, and I really appreciate it. Mom, weren't you the one who wanted me to move to the south of the city? My taxi is almost here." Until I left, those 5 people still stood in place, their faces showing confusion, as if they couldn't understand why I suddenly seemed like a different person. Yes. When I still cared about them, I was like a hysterical madman. I don't understand why my uncle and aunt, who came to attend my birthday party, died in a car accident. This sin will be placed on my head. I don't understand why after Lydia moved into my house, my parents and brother would think that being good to me is being unfair to her. I also don't understand, clearly having promised me that he would always favor me and only love me, why Aaron gradually started to have feelings for Lydia. They all think I am the bad person, the one who bullied the innocent Lydia. The innocent Lydia was showered with love and received everything I wanted. Yet, I have nothing left. In the midst of the raging fire, when I saw them one by one abandon me, I understood that no matter what, I could never compete with Lydia. I no longer wanted to fight, nor did I want to go mad. In the next 2 days, I repurchased the things I needed to take with me. Skincare products, clothes, and even the suitcase were all brand new ones I bought at the mall. I began to look forward to the new life that would begin after leaving this land. Just before going to bed at night, the door was knocked on. It was Aaron and 3 people from the family who came to find me. I saw them and felt a bit impatient. "What are you here for?" Hearing my indifferent tone, they were slightly taken aback, and then Aaron spoke up to clarify the matter. Serena, Lydia said that this wedding is just a substitute for you, and she hopes you can be there tomorrow. Forget it, with my appearance, there's no need to go. I originally thought that I would shamelessly participate, but Aaron and his family were taken aback again. They then took a closer look at my appearance. The several wounds on my face bore a light red color that was different from the other fair skin, and my fingers resting on the doorknob were also covered in rugged scars. Once, I would cry and whimper at even a small injury, but at this moment, I wear a calm expression, as if these gruesome wounds had not appeared on my body at all. Serena, are you still in pain? Mom asked this question for the first time. I raised an eyebrow and said, I don't feel anything anymore. A light, airy statement that silenced everything they wanted to say. Aaron's eyes seemed to hold a bit more pity. My parents' eyes were fixed on my scar, and my brother, who always picks on me, also lowered his head, lost in thought. The phone ringing broke the somewhat awkward silence, and Lydia's cheerful voice rang out. You really have to persuade my sister to come. I'm really afraid she'll misunderstand something. If she doesn't come, I won't feel at ease. Yes, we need to reassure Lydia. The four of them, feeling a bit awkward upon hearing my refusal, seemed to suddenly find their reason. Serena, you should have heard, you must come tomorrow. Aaron grabbed my wrist. Even though it's Lydia standing in for you, you are the true star of the wedding. Yeah, if you don't go, it won't be good if others misunderstand. I listened to their advice, feeling a bit impatient. I raised my hand to check the time, it was already very late. Tomorrow's flight is an early one, and I don't want to waste time with them, just nodding along randomly, which is how I sent them away. The next day, I got up very early. When I was getting ready to board, Lydia had already posted a photo of her makeup on Facebook, accompanied by a shy expression. I just liked to post, and the next second, I saw a message from Aaron. Serena, when are you coming? Lydia said she prepared a dress for you, don't be too late and let her good intentions go to waste. He only felt that Lydia was kind, completely forgetting that I had scars and couldn't wear a dress at all. I replied to him with 3 words. Let's break up. Then I turned around and added him and everyone in the family to the blacklist, walking towards the boarding gate without looking back. Seeing that message and realizing he had been blocked, Aaron felt an inexplicable sense of panic, as if something was slipping out of his control. He called me frantically, but unfortunately, my phone was in airplane mode, and he couldn't reach me at all. Not just him, but anyone in the house had no way to contact me. Mom and Dad were extremely anxious, and my brother even drove directly to the house in the south of the city to look for me. Just like the home I lived in for over 20 years, this room has left no trace of me. Everything has been cleared away by me. After getting off the plane and turning off airplane mode, I saw that there were over 100 missed calls on my phone. It was then that I remembered I had only blocked them on WhatsApp and forgot to block their numbers as well. Just as I was about to operate, another call came in. I pressed to answer. The person across seemed quite anxious. Serena, where have you been? Do you know how worried we were? I looked and saw that it was actually my brother's call. Would he be worried about me? I didn't believe it. Is something wrong? I replied briefly with just 2 words. Yet, I didn't know how I had triggered his sensitive nerves. What do you think? Of course there's something going on. Do you have any idea how much trouble your sudden disappearance caused? Your friends caused a scene at the wedding, all saying that Lydia was the mistress who interfered in your relationship, and they made her cry. Are you trying to get back at Lydia on purpose? My brother instinctively began to blame me. After saying that, he felt a bit inappropriate himself. I didn't mean it that way. I chuckled lightly and interrupted him, isn't she? When I brought Aaron home, looking forward to marrying him, wasn't it Lydia who used all her wiles to catch his attention? The brother seemed to want to refute, but found no reason to exonerate Lydia. Why is Lydia getting closer and closer to Aaron? Doesn't she know he's someone else's boyfriend? Suddenly, the older brother felt a bit flustered. If Lydia really did it on purpose, then would their favorite aspects of her, her innocence and simplicity, still be genuine? He was unwilling to think deeply and habitually turned the blame towards me. Even so, she is still your sister. Have you forgotten how uncle and aunt died? I know that during this time, mom and dad have been so busy with the wedding that they've neglected you, and we will find a way to make it up to you. Hurry back now, and help clarify things for Lydia. I let out a cold snort and finally spoke the words that had been buried deep in my heart. Was my uncle and aunt's death really my fault? I was just an 8-year-old child, I was merely celebrating a birthday. I didn't drive their car, and I didn't crash into their car either. Don't you find it ridiculous that you use this reason to cover up your bias? After saying that, I hung up the phone. Not wanting to be disturbed anymore, I blocked all their phone numbers. My friend also sent a message at this moment, excitedly urging me to take a look. I opened the video they recorded. In the video, Lydia was wearing a much more glamorous wedding dress than the one I wore last time, leaning against Aaron like a little bird. My existence seems to have been completely erased, even the welcome sign at the door only has Lydia and Aaron's names on it. Many guests were somewhat puzzled, not understanding why the bride had changed in just a month. Aaron, who was being held by the person he liked, should have been very happy, but he looked as if he was burdened with worries, even his smile seemed forced. The Song family beside them was the same, not knowing what they were thinking. The officiant asked, "Mr. Aaron, do you take Miss Lydia to be your wife?" He suddenly came to his senses and said something that shocked everyone in the room, "You called the wrong name, right? It should be Serena." Lydia's face suddenly fell. It's very simple, all of this was planned by her. She wasn't that kind-hearted at all, willing to take my place in the wedding. What she really wanted was to completely replace me. Having Aaron and the family bring me here was just so she could enjoy the sight of my sadness and despair. At this moment, Aaron did not know why he had gone mad, her well-laid plans had also come to nothing. A friend's unrestrained laughter rang out. Wow, Aaron actually figured out this scheming woman's intentions? After she had laughed enough, she brought my group of friends and scolded the few people standing on the stage until they were drenched in humiliation. Serena's burns are so severe, yet you people only think about having that cheap woman replace her for the wedding. During the month she was in the hospital, did any of you go to see her? Do you know how much pain she is in? A bunch of brainless idiots, just buzzing around that cheap woman like flies, abandoning your own daughter, your own sister, and your girlfriend of 7 years. Do you even have a heart? She turned the camera again and directed it at Lydia, who was hiding behind the crowd. And you, do you feel proud of stealing your cousin's things? Let me tell you, anything you can steal isn't worth having. Keep this trash for yourself. They thought for a moment, then fiercely tore the veil from Lydia's head before leaving under everyone's gaze. The video ended, and my friend told me that although it was a bit late, they had at least vented for me. My eyes suddenly turned red, and my hands trembled as I thanked them one by one. They just laughed. What are we thanking? We're friends, and we've been fed up with that group for a long time. I suddenly felt that the place in my heart that had been blocked for a long time seemed to be suddenly cleared by a warm current. Although I chose to leave, I am not empty-handed. I still have this group of friends who love me. That night, lying on the bed of a hotel in a foreign land, I finally had a good sleep without having nightmares for the first time in a long while. 2 years after being assigned abroad, I led the overseas branch to secure a major order worth over 100 million. The news returned to the country, and the boss was all smiles, telling me to come back and that he would throw a grand celebration for me. At the celebration banquet, I saw many familiar faces. Dad, Mom, brother, and Aaron. They looked much more haggard and worn, blocked outside by the company's security, yet their eyes were red as they stared at me. Serena, you finally came back. Mom wiped her tears, her face filled with an unshakable longing. How can you just leave like that, running off to another country by yourself? You even blocked all our contact information. Do you know how worried we are about you? Dad was supporting her from the side, his expression equally agitated. Don't say anything, just come back, just come back. Aaron's gaze was also fixed intently on me. I have no doubt that if there were no security, he would definitely rush in front of me. Only the brother who has spoken to me looks at the indifference and distance in my eyes, and he becomes completely dejected. I watched coldly, without making a move, and the three excited people finally realized something was wrong. The security personnel asked me if I needed them to come in. I tugged at the corner of my mouth and, under their expectant gazes, spoke lightly. Take them away, I don't know them. No, Serena, you're still angry, aren't you? Aaron, in a fit of excitement, broke free from the security's hold and rushed in front of me. He held me tightly in his arms, as if embracing a treasure that had been lost and found again. Your scar has healed, did you have surgery? It must have hurt, right? I didn't answer. After going abroad, I did have surgery. To fix these ugly scars, I can't even remember how many times I lay on the operating table. But what does this have to do with Aaron? He cried. I was wrong. You waited so long for the wedding, I shouldn't have let Lydia take your place. I've been waiting for you to come back, so we can have another wedding, one that's better, more magnificent, okay? I loathed it to the extreme and forcefully pushed him away. What were you doing all this time? Weren't you enjoying the ambiguity with Lydia? When I said this, Aaron's eyes lit up instead. You're still bothered by it, aren't you? You're jealous. I knew you still haven't let go of me. Serena, I really know I was wrong. There's no one in this world who loves me more than you do. If it weren't for you being by my side, I wouldn't have achieved what I have today. His words left me momentarily dazed. Yes. I accompanied him from our student days to the workplace, and when he started his business, I also worked hard to help him secure clients. The hardest year, we didn't even have enough money to buy 2 lunches. He swore he would treat me well for a lifetime, always favor me, but what does that matter? A vow is only valid the moment it is spoken. He still remained detached. I took a step back, keeping my distance from him. You're overthinking it, Aaron, I don't love you anymore. Aaron's eyes suddenly turned red. You don't love me anymore? How is that possible? Serena, you're lying to me, right? I had never seen him so disheveled, so humble. But my heart could no longer stir with even the slightest flutter. I didn't lie to you, just go. Aaron wanted to say something else, but he was directly dragged away by security. Seeing how indifferent I was towards Aaron, the family over there didn't dare to come closer. They watched me from a distance as I walked into the banquet hall. And I didn't look back even once. This time, it feels like something is truly different. After returning to my country, I moved into the apartment I had bought outright and invited friends I hadn't seen in a long time. We talked about our experiences over the years, sharing each other's thoughts and feelings. The atmosphere was just right, but my door was knocked on. Through the peephole, I saw my parents and my brother. They didn't know how they found out my address, yet they came over to look for me. I didn't open the door and went straight back to the room to continue playing with my friends. Until the sky gradually darkened and my friends were ready to leave, I opened the door only to find that my parents and older brother were still standing outside. They had a flattering expression on their faces as they raised the bag in their hands. Serena, we bought the best sweet and sour fish from Jiwei restaurant. Do you want to give it a try? I raised an eyebrow and gently lifted my hand when my mom eagerly handed over the bag. That entire bag fell directly into the trash can at the door. Lydia, who hadn't been seen for a long time, suddenly rushed out. Cousin, how can you so disappoint aunt and uncle with their good intentions? I know you've always felt that I took away their affection for you, but now that I've moved out, you don't have to worry anymore. Lydia spoke, tears streaming down her face. That look, as if she were being bullied by me, this wicked woman. After all these years of pampering, Mom, Dad, and my brother can no longer bear it. We know we have let you down and made you sad so many times, but we are a family, can't we be more understanding and tolerant of each other? Lydia has really been very sensible, she has already moved out to live on her own. What more do you want us to do? I hadn't even spoken yet, and a friend who had a bit to drink was already getting worked up. Pa, what mutual tolerance and understanding? There has never been any mutuality, it's always about Serena understanding you. Besides, Lydia moving out is something she should have done a long time ago. Squatting in someone else's home while subtly pushing out their daughter, only you people who can't tell right from wrong treat her like a treasure. What you just said makes it sound like our Serena bullied her and let you down. Let me ask you this, who among you still remembers that Serena is allergic to fish? I patted my friend's head. Alright, don't get angry over these unworthy people. Unworthy people? Are they talking about them? Also, how could they forget that Serena is allergic to fish? It seems that Lydia said that her favorite food is fish, right? I remember the fish that was essential at every meal on our family dining table, my parents' and brother's faces ashen. They watched me send my friend off, watching the door close once again in front of them. Yet they no longer dared to ask whether I still considered them family. They are afraid of receiving that unacceptable answer. After that day, whenever I went out, I would always see a few ominous figures. Sometimes it's my parents, sometimes it's my brother, sometimes it's Aaron. They seem to treat this place as some kind of sacred spot for checking in, coming over every now and then, with that kind of heart-wrenching pity that makes others look at me with disgust. I can only try my best to ignore them. But a few of them still affected the other neighbors in the community. After the property management contacted me, I could no longer tolerate it and let those people, who were like electric poles, who stood downstairs every day, into the house. They entered with surprise and restraint, stepping in cautiously. Your house looks great. Aaron glanced around and awkwardly complimented. He never knew that I actually had such a zest for life. There are many green plants at home, looking vibrant and full of life. Do you really like to plant flowers? I have a garden at my villa where I can plant them. Mom and Dad nodded repeatedly. Yes, yes, there is also a place at home to plant flowers. I took a small sip of coffee. No need, I won't be staying in the country for long. Hearing this, the four of them were taken aback. Aren't you planning to go back to your country to develop? It would be so much better to be closer to home. I smiled, the smile carrying a sense of detachment and indifference. My home is not here. Mom got excited again. How could you not be here? Serena, Dad, Mom, and your brother are all waiting for you to come home. Your home will always be here. I put down the coffee cup, the porcelain making a crisp sound as it touched the table. It was as cold as my tone. I think my meaning has always been very clear, that is not my home. Mom wanted to say something more, but suddenly she choked up. Because I took off my coat. Inside the coat, there is a camisole nightgown. The large areas of skin exposed are marked with pockmarked, twisted, and hideous scars. In these years, I have indeed been undergoing skin graft surgeries to make my face look almost indistinguishable from a normal person's. However, many scars on my body can never be restored to their former appearance. Mom trembled as she reached out her hand, as if she wanted to touch my scar. This was the first time she had seen the trauma that the fire had caused me so directly. How could it be? How could it be so serious? It has always been very serious. I almost died in the fire, yet you all think I only have superficial injuries, only feeling that the scar on my face is ugly. I remember when I had surgery, the hospital contacted them, but they scolded me for being pretentious, and there was no trace of color left in my parents' and brother's faces. But I didn't give them a chance to ease the situation. Do you remember the password that was changed? I actually figured it out. I went into that room of mine. It was quite nice. You had already made your choice long ago, so why force me to turn back now? A simple, emotionless question made the three members of the Song family weep uncontrollably. Serena. Dad reached out his hand, wanting to hug me. I deftly dodged, watching their eyes as if they were looking at a stranger. As for Aaron on the side, I haven't forgotten about you either. And you, stop bothering me. Everything you did with Lydia, she recorded and sent to me. Since you like her, why are you still trying to provoke me? Aaron hurriedly explained, No, it's not like that. I don't like her, I just feel sorry for her, feel heartache for her, think she's so understanding, right? Aaron, you coward, you won't even admit to your own mental infidelity. I sneered and raised my right hand. On my ring finger, there was a ring. I am already married, so stop bothering me, understand? Aaron looked as if struck by lightning. You got married? To whom? He wanted to ask me, but as he stepped forward, a tall man grabbed him by the collar. Serena, who are they? The man with blonde hair, blue eyes, and a height of 1.90 m asked in confusion. I rushed over and hugged him, my face full of surprise. What are you doing here? He smiled shyly and said, Mom made the cookies you love, and she asked me to bring them to you. She said she was worried that if you came back too late, the cookies wouldn't taste good. You still haven't told me, who are they? Are they going to hurt you? I didn't spare a glance for those people, just scoffed and said, They're just irrelevant, just drive them away. Come and take a look at the flowers you gave me. I've taken pretty good care of them, haven't I? When you leave, take them all home with you. The man smiled indulgently and turned to push the few people who were dumbfounded out the door. That was the last time I saw Aaron, and also the last time I saw the Song family. By the time I heard from them again, I had already returned home with my husband. A friend maliciously sent me a message, telling me about the recent situation of those people. After Aaron saw that I was really getting married, he became gloomy and dejected, spending all day at home drinking. One time, after drinking too much, Lydia pretended to be me, and the two of us ended up sleeping together in a daze. Aaron had no choice but to marry Lydia. Life after marriage was chaotic. Lydia revealed her true colors, showing no consideration at all and spending money extravagantly. Aaron couldn't take it anymore and wanted to divorce her, but was killed by the furious Lydia. She felt that Aaron had betrayed her as well. After killing Aaron, Lydia knew she couldn't escape, so she ran back to the Song family and set it on fire. Watching the Song family struggle in agony in the sea of fire, she laughed like a madwoman. Who told you to drive me away? I finally managed to scare that annoying woman Serena off, and instead of treating me well, you actually want her back. I am your little princess, and you should all pamper me. Otherwise, I might just poison those two idiots for nothing. Her words unveiled the bloody truth. It turned out that her uncle and aunt had a car accident because she had put a little sleeping pill in their water, just to be taken to the wealthy Song family. The Song family finally understood what it meant to invite a wolf into their home, regretting their earlier decisions, but it was already too late. Dad was burned to death in a fire, my brother suffered severe burns, and my mom also inhaled too much smoke, leaving her with lifelong health issues. It was only when they felt that pain themselves that they realized what I had once gone through. It is said that later, my brother and mother still wanted to find me to win me back, even going to my lover's home. Unfortunately, I have long been financially free and have gone on a world tour with my partner. The past, in all its forms, only trapped them. I have already moved forward. The story ends.